Merry Christmas! Hello everyone, this is CJ Novo 992 and today we're back for another brand new video and we're back in the win column with very little VAR conversation that needs to be had based on that game of football, which I don't know how you feel and how you felt recently, but that's almost absolutely everything I could have asked for old St. Nicky's. It gave me the 3 points, it gave me that clean sheet, and we go back to those winning ways. Now, was it a great performance? No, it wasn't. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and try and tell you it was, but what it was is a result, ladies and gentlemen. And sometimes you get a performance, sometimes you get a result, and sometimes, if you're very, very lucky, you get both at the same time. It must really be nice. And maybe the ironic thing you can look about this game and this performance and this result is if you take a step back and look at our last 3 games at this football club: the Spurs draw in the Europa League, the penalty loss to Celtic in the cup final, and this win versus Dundee in the top flight of Scottish football. If you were ranked them based on performances, this would be our worst performance, but we actually got the win today. And that's how funny and that's how cool this wee sport that we follow and follow every aspect of it can actually be. So I'll take the 3 points and I'll go in and enjoy my Christmas dinner with a smile on the old nasher. And you know, this is obviously the Christmas upload, hence the crazy intro, hence some of the Christmas references we've had, because me and they won't see each other until after the holidays now. And if you are celebrating, I hope you have a great time doing whatever you do. You get everything you wanted and you eat whatever you can possibly fit in the old nasher, right? But I can't help but find so many similarities between Christmas Day itself and this game. Follow me, Alice, as we go down this rabbit hole, because just like Christmas Day, this game started off pretty well. There was a buzz in the air, we were all very, very excited, and then we start using our best moves, we start using our best jokes, everything's gone well. 10, 15 minutes into it, then it starts to peter out a little bit. Everyone's sort of had their say, we've done wee bits and bobs, the game's starting to peter out there, starting to get a little bit awkward now. Starts to get a little bit long, we're starting to get wee watch looks, you're just wanting it to be over, and by the time this game was over, it felt like just at the end of Christmas Day when you've had your time, you just want to get home, you just want to relax, and dare I say you didn't want to think about it for another 365 days. That's how I feel about this game, so for me, it's very fitting. But I wouldn't necessarily say it was a bad performance, and there is some good things we need to talk about and some Christmas cheer that we need to spread, because there was 2 schools of thoughts coming in to this game. Either we were going to come in pissed off, angry because what we feel we were robbed of the weekend. We were going to come out angry, play fast and really punish this Dundee side. Or there was a little bit of a worry that because of how emotional the weekend was, the big week that we had with Spurs and Celtic, we would come into this game and it would just be a little bit of a slog to get through, because maybe we felt sorry for ourselves. And I wouldn't say even it was the latter, despite some issues, because we hit the bar not once, not twice, not 3 times, a lady, but 4 troops. That's right, 4 times in the game, and had a shot cleared off the line. If any of those goes in, it makes this scoreline a hell of a lot prettier than it actually is, and we're talking up the performance. But again, it was somewhere in between, in my opinion. We've done some nice things, we just maybe never got the rub of the green and the slice of luck that maybe you require, because sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and that probably summarises this game after a very emotional week with some massive performances, some massive efforts for the players coming in to this one. It was just about getting the 3 points, getting back to winning ways, and hell, we've done it. So I'll be happy, and I'll be happy right till the next game. But speaking of happy, I was the opposite when I actually remembered today's game was going to be wearing the anniversary kit, because I don't know any of you statisticians that's actually out there and keeps track of all this stuff and love all the stats. Can somebody truly let me know down in the comment section below what our record is of hitting bars and posts when we wear these one-off kits in there? You know what I mean? I remember during the 55 season what happened there when we decided to wear them. I remember when we wore the purple kit for the first time away to Ross County. I remember when we wore the last kit as well, the red one, the orange and blue one at Kilmarnock. Whenever we debut these new kits, it's normally very, very ugly. I come into this game a wee bit nervous of that juju if you actually will, and dare I say it was proven to be right, because in the warm-up there's a change as Jack Butland is out and Liam Kelly is in. Now, originally at the game, people were expecting it obviously to be an injury in the warm-up because you've named in the starting 11 and then you're no playing. Everyone's gone like, oh, he must have got injured, he must have got hurt. But then there was a lot of talk on Twitter and the social media that apparently his wife went into labour and that's why he's had to leave the game, etc, etc. So I don't know truly what it is. By the time I've actually edited this video and got up, scroll down at the comment section, I'll give you a wee bit more of an indication. But just seeing Jack Butland go out there, honestly, I was terrified. Not as sad as my missus, right enough, which I'm a wee bit worried about, if I'm honest with you, because she seemingly cares a lot more about Jack than myself. But at the same time, it might not be anything serious, and hell, if it is due to his wife having a baby, massive congratulations, and I hope all is well with the Butland family. And yeah, that gave the opportunity for Liam Kelly, which I didn't mind. Is actually rate Liam Kelly a lot, and again, I've spoken about him over the last couple of years has been maybe the second best shot stopper in the league, because you just see the standards, what he's brought in, and some of the performances he's done against us, annoyingly, and a lot of the points that we threw away versus Motherwell was usually down to the hands and the gloves of that man. So aye, Liam Kelly was maybe the big surprise when the ball was eventually kicked off for the first time, but the team was pretty much what we expected going in to the end of yesterday's preview video. Position for position, it was exactly what I expected and wanted to see, so I was really excited to come out and do that, especially seeing the likes of Sterling start again at centre back, which, can I just say, remember how he's no fit enough to start consecutive games at right back and that because he's no fit enough and he's not able to do this. It's amazing, as soon as we need a centre back position filled in and he's no replacing Tav, he's magically fit enough. I should say play, not start, by the way, but that's just my fun little jab there. And honestly, I'm thankful Big Sterling was in there, as I think his power whenever Dundee's game plan was to hit those counter-attacks, something that does hurt us a lot in these games. I thought he sniffed out a lot of the attacks well, and he's just back to being John Sterling. He had that wee wobble at the start of the season where he kind of seemed lost, but I think he's slowly but surely finding his feet and he's back to being consistent wherever we play them. Again, I feel bad that he's never getting out an opportunity to play in a consecutive position or a consistent position, but I thought he was very good today. And that leads me to the first player I actually want to talk about, by the way, because I didn't think I've spoke about him, especially positively anyway, and picked him out for a while now, and that is going to be Robin Proper. I know, ladies and gentlemen, we did pick up a booking in the 66th minute for making zero contact with Simon Murray. We'll get there when we get into the game recap. But I don't know, I think over the last two games, I thought he was very good versus Celtic and all that as well. I thought he was very good in the Spurs game. I'm watching him play now and I'm seeing him just calm down a wee bit, right? Which is quite funny because there is spells and periods of the games where he's so calm now, he's actually terrifying me, so it's flipped 180, but he's not as rash now diving into the challenges like he was in the first couple of months. I don't know what's happened, or if he's just been told or to get out his heat and just get back to playing his best, but I thought he was very, very good today, especially considering he's besides Jeff, who again can have his up and down moments down that left hand side, and he's playing again John Sterling, who again is filling in at centre half. I thought the big man was very, very solid again, and was robbed of an assist as Hadji just ran a wee bit too early. So I've been quick to criticise, so I'll actually give him a wee bit of praise today. I thought he was very, very solid, and long may that continue. Aye, I bet Nanny's for Robin Proper was getting a wee shout out today, eh? Maybe the couple favourites, the Chernys, the Egamans, the Raskins, you all thought it was going to be. I thought Big Robin was actually alright today, so I'm going to give him a wee bit of love. And I thought the other guy that impressed me as well today was Hadji on the left hand side, kinda in the central, kinda everywhere he needed to go in the ball. And I do find it interesting to watch just the journey that Hadji's actually been on, where it looked like to where he is now, where I would argue he is maybe the single most important midfielder that we've actually got there, not named Nico Raskin, if you actually catch my drift. Because if you look at everything we created today, and I know we only finished 1-0, and I know there's that kind of damp squid feel about it because we never got the scoreline of the chances we created we actually deserved. But see, if you look at all those chances, and he was directly involved with the one, obviously, his shot hitting the bar as well. If you look at everything we created creativity-wise, it was 9 times out of 10 it was for either one of his feet, as he was playing in balls, playing in crosses, creating opportunity after opportunity. And again, I can remember what this midfield looked like before he was in it. Now I see him just becoming almost the main man in the space of, what, 2-3 games? I think it's really impressive, and I think we need to continue to build with Hadji, as he's clearly offering something to this Rangers team. By God, we didn't have previously. But let's not pull too many names out the old hat then, shall we? Because again, it was a cheeky wee 1-0, and a lot of these names will be mentioned as we speak about, several of the opportunities. Because I want to dive in at the start of the game. As we mentioned, it was pretty positive. Diamandi was heavily involved, running about, and his skill created the first major oh no, arse off seat moment 5-6 minutes into the game, as the ball gets played out to him. He brings it down right on a sixpence. Joe Aribo is tipping the old captain. He then takes on the centre half, runs at the byline, and a challenge comes in, and I'm up. I'm going, oh, that's a penalty. That's a penalty every day of the week. Then I see the highlight back, and by goodness gracious, great balls of fire. You've got to just hold your hand up sometimes and give credit to the opposition, because that's a ridiculous slide challenge, a brilliantly timed slide challenge. It gets the ball long before it gets the man, and you just have to hold your hand up, annoyingly, as that's probably the best bit of defending Kumente will do all season long. Brilliant for the big man, unfortunately for us. But individual skill was the only thing really creating the gaps it was needed to Dundee again parking that bus. The next one came a couple minutes later as Eggman actually, I think he brings it down with his shoulder right here. I think he somehow just drops the shoulder, the ball drops down here, it then hits a nutmeg as it always seems today, and then it looks like he's got 3 men on him. It looks like he's overrun it. He pushes one out the way, he's then got the ball, and he just nonchalant flicks it to Danilo, who I think is a bit more tuned in. He can get a shot away. It's a ridiculous bit of skill that you've probably already forgot about, but if Danny puts that in the back of it, that's the assist of the season. Absolutely outrageous for there, but Danny's a wee bit on his heels there, doesn't get the shot away, and it's another nearly and a nearly maybe. But I guess it's not a Rangers game unless we talk about us hitting the old woodwork then, shall we? And let's go ahead and talk about it. The first time we actually strike it is from the boot of Hadji, who actually created the first shot on target as well minutes prior, as he whips in a dangerous cross that Tav gets onto at the back post, but he can't really either get it to Eggman or get anything really on it to beat Carson in net, so it was more of a comfortable save, but certainly wasn't comfortable in the next couple minutes as Hadji again plays it to Tavernier plays it to Hadji after a short corner, and Hadji just goes, you know what, my dad was no bad at football, Bush, and he absolutely rattles it, and I'm thinking it's absolutely in, right, because it's curling, it's just gone right into the bread basket, but it just rattles the top of the bar, and that nearly was, again, goal of the season. See him in the nearlies, that's what it's like supporting this club. Ridiculous shot, it looked like hitting one of those windbreakers back in the day when we were all growing up, just whoosh, right in there. Carson's got no idea where it's gone, but unfortunately, again, we didn't get that luck. So that was bar 1. Now bar 2 comes after Jeffy's great run in the middle of the park as Silla comes and wipes him out in the middle of the park. It's not the first time, last time Silla's ever been involved in anything like that, and for me I think he should probably get sent off in this game. We'll get to it in a minute or two. But up steps James Henry, and I'll be honest, I did expect it to be a James Henry game, so I'll hold my hands up and say I was wrong right here, because it just reeked of a James Henry game. But he ends up rattling a delicious free kick that this time hits the underside of the bar, bounces on the line and comes back out. It's not a Frank Lampard style line, it's actually on the line, bounces back out, and you go, oh god, the curse kit is real. And you start to almost believe it after Raskin breaks down arguably the move of the game that featured a delicious nutmeg, wee fancy flick outside of the fit, first time pass from Eggman to Tav in the box, but Raskin ends up running in front of Tavernier, stopping him for shooting. Then you've got Cerny sizing up his man, faking into the left that he's already had 2 efforts, having a pop so the defender buys it, then he puts it on the right foot. Son, we spoke about a lot right here on the channel, especially the player profile, how many goals he scores with his right foot, because arguably he is so one-footed, so defenders buy it every time, and he plays it down the right foot, rattles a shot across, but Carson has the save of the game so far. It's a brilliant save, low and hard, and somehow not only does he save it, he gets it out and away for Eggman and Danny, who's both sniffing up trying to get the end in. That's the game, that's the summary of the first half, that's how it felt. 3 or 4 major opportunities, 3 or 4 major chances in the space of 3 and 4 minutes, and then the game sort of just petered its way out. We go into the end of the first half, I think, right, we just need to take one of our next opportunities opportunities, the next one would be absolutely great. And thankfully we did, ladies and gentlemen. And the way that we did, the ball sort of bounced around the halfway line. Danny reacts quickly enough. That's why I like him. You know what I mean? I say he's got a bit of the Novo in him. Misses chances here or there, but he's always moving. He's always working. And it's him there. Wins almost a 50-50. Plays on a beautiful ball. Gone forward. That's what strikers bring you. We're on the part. See, if you play too many midfielders and these wide tens and all this crap we've been doing for years, they always just try and play safe possession, because creativity is strangled out of the game. Just look at Jack Grealish's career and seen what's happened to him, right? But again, we've got a striker there, and strikers just want to go forward. Just plays a first time pass forward. Big Cerny's up there again at the old hee, and he ends up running, keeping his cell phone side, and he sets up the goalkeeper. I'm thinking he's maybe going to do a Morgan Rogers if you watch the game earlier versus Man City and just play it wrong for the tap-in, but then I remembered with Rangers Football Club. Within a day, easy goals, but he ends up faking the goalkeeper on his right foot and scores a goal we mentioned several times right here, saying, when is it going to come? And ironically, when is it going to come is something we spoke about back in the day. Remember versus Malmo? Cerny had the opportunity, went with his left foot and ended up hitting it wide rather than showing that composure. And it shows you how far he's came in his Rangers journey in the space of a couple of months and how much confidence he's got to take the goalie on his weak foot, tap it into the back of it. Brilliant goal. But again, football is football these days, as we don't know whether we can celebrate as the linesman who looks like Eric Ten Hag's wee twin brother. And you start to think to yourself, oh, here we go again. Here's going to be another goal ripped off, as VAR seemingly's main purpose is to find reasons not to give goals, even though goals are the thing that people actually watch football to see. It's funny when you start thinking about it that way, but after 3 or 4 minutes of sitting like this, is it no, we're finally given the wee nod, and we get 10 seconds of cheer before the kick-off is given after VAR is officially given it. You know what I mean? Spent 3 or 4 minutes checking the goal over and over. I can imagine they were like, is it more offside than on? And eventually gave the goal, and that set us on our way, and we needed that goal. And it's no surprise it comes for the old injector of the squad, in my opinion, who does have his iffy moments, but again, he's been such an impactful player for his club, in my opinion, and he's only getting better. And he gets his goal that his performances over the last couple, especially against Spurs, where I thought he was excellent, that he deserves. But that goal certainly ripped up the old Dundee motive, and they realised they had to come out and really start showing a bit of a fight back. And they'd had the next shot in the game, as they had the shot from about 25 yards out. They went 25 yards to the corner flag, but they were in it. They were trying to get competitive. They were then trying to pounce on the balls. Silla then collides, I think it is, with Raskin, and again I was surprised that VAR's no had a wee look at that. Looked really bad at the time, but again I was delighted that Raskin was alright in the other end of that challenge, or it could have been really bad for this football club, especially considering he went on to be unpunished, only getting branded a yellow card. But again, he always seems to be involved, whether it's scoring own goals, keeping his own side for goals, giving away penalties, scoring himself, or being involved in crazy challenges. Every time we play Dundee, the lad makes us mention his name, but thankfully again Raskin is alright in that one. He's able to get up and perform the way Raskin does, which again I thought provided energy. And a couple of times that Dundee tried to hit us on counter when it was nippy 1-0, he usually stepped in and he should, and he's playing with that confidence and the belief now that he believes he can be a Rangers player. And I don't know if this is going to sound daft to anyone, but it kind of struck me when I was thinking about Raskin, and I'm looking at the resurgence of Raskin and how he's playing now consistently, game after game after game. I feel like he's no longer in the shadow of his pal Todd Cantwell, you know what I mean? Because when they both got signed, well, we were excited for wee Raskin, but it was Todd Cantwell was this, Todd Cantwell, and he's obviously got the big personality, dominating the news, media headlines, public. Everyone always wanted to talk about Cantwell, and Raskin started to get treated like Robin, you know what I mean, or Tito for the Jackson 5. He was just the pal, the main guy, and I don't know if that played into his game, or maybe I'm just being a wee bit daft here, but I think now that he's been given the keys and he's no seen as Todd Cantwell's number 2 or anything like that, or the other guy we signed with Todd Cantwell, now that it's just him, he's just playing like he believes he belongs in a Rangers team, and I really, really like him. You know what I mean? I shouted it proper, I've shouted at Hadji, but if I was talking about man of the matches, he would probably be up there. He's just busybody, involved in everything, just puts out fires before they needed to. Very similar to the way Jacko done for years at this club. But back to the old football in action. We did have the ball in the back in it for the second time as proper picks out a ridiculous through ball to Hadji, who sizes up the goalkeeper, hits a shot. The goalie, I think he ends up nutmegging the goalie, but it ends up rebounding, going in to the back in it anyway, so it would have been a Hadji goal. But this time the flag does go up, the goal gets checked, and it is given as offside, although this one looked a lot more blatant, and I think everyone knew that one was offside, especially our boy Hadji, who scored right away and went like that, because I think he ended up knowing it. But again, it was a good finish for Hadji, and he probably deserved the goal based on what he created, and he's nearly shot in the first half. We end up having another major opportunity as Hadji is offside, again getting another great ball from it as he beats his man wonderfully with a fantastic bit of a sort of shimmy skill, pulls it into the middle, forces Carson into a great save, but it's eventually given for offside as well. And you're thinking, okay, but aye, what's it been, like 3 or 4 minutes since we talked about a bar? Let's go ahead and talk about another one then, shall we? And it starts with our boy Raskin, who we'll give a lot of praise to as we jump about 10-15 minutes in to the old future. The ball goes down to the Raskin, who's made a great run down the right hand side, drills in a ball 7-8 yards out, picking out Egeman, and I'm already up. I'm like, that wee boy's not missing. He has missed. He's rattled the bar. And you know, honestly, I heard somebody say at least it's no Dessers. That probably tells you where this football club actually is. And it's a saying for Egeman. He will certainly not look back on it. And again, it's just an absolute howler. It's a wonderful ball for Raskin. But again, I'm fine with the likes of Egeman missing those chances, because it's, again, the peaks and the valleys. He's no going to be perfect. And I know everyone's starting to link him with this team here and this team here, but that's the way social media works right now. We know he is very rough around the edges, but we know what he brings in. And I thought he was involved in some good stuff, his movement, his energy, his crosses, creating an opportunity for Tavernier again in the second half, about 5 minutes after the one we just missed. It was a wonderful ball in that nearly resulted in a goal. He's going to have good and mad moments as he continually gets better as a football club. Again, he's in the right place at the right time. He just doesn't take his chances, but I'd rather be there watching a 22-year-old doing that than a 30-year-old or a 31-year-old, 32-year-old missing those chances where we're not going to get better, and he's no getting any better. So that's how I feel on that, because I started getting a wee bit saying, oh, if it was Dessers, everyone would be fuming. Yeah, everyone's devastated. He's missed the opportunity to make it 2-0, but we're not throwing the toys at the pram, because that laddie actually tries and doesn't hide. Speaking of hiding, I wish the Dundee player went away and hid in this moment, because actually just a minute prior, I'm getting my timelines mixed up here, you know what I mean? It's a bit MCU Kang style stuff going on right now. A minute prior to hitting the bar, Egeman has a shot cleared off the line after a wonderful bit of play between him, Jefty, then to Hadji. So it starts with Jeff, plays into Egeman plays into Hadji with a wonderful wee reverse into him. Egeman does everything right, chips it over the goalkeeper, but gets cleared off the line, then he hits the bar. Aye, it wasn't an Egeman Christmas, as we got 0 goals in our stocking. But as we've only mentioned 3 bar shots, let's go ahead and speak about the 4th one then, shall we? And I laughed because I was wondering how he was going to get Dessers on the part, you know what I mean? Because I knew what the crowd was going to be. The crowd let them know, as well as they were certainly voicing their opinions, which they're allowed to go. You know what I mean? They spend their money, they pile into the club, they travel through there, they can voice their opinion the whatever way they want. I'll never have problems with it. And I was wondering how he was going to do it, and it made me laugh because I remember a couple years ago when we were having that sort of, remember the charity match between like Liverpool legends and Rangers legends. Gerrard played, remember, half-time for, well, no half-time, but 70 minutes with Liverpool, then he came on for us. Do you remember that game? Do you remember Charlie Adam was involved in that game, and every time he was warming up he'd get booed, and we were wondering, how's he going to come on? I said to my father, how's he going to bring him on? My dad went, he'll bring him on with somebody we actually like, just to trick the crowd. Well, Clement pulled one out for there as Dessers ended up getting substituted on with Ridvan Yilmaz, who the entire Rangers support feels bad for considering what happened at the weekend. But aye, it just reminded me when we subbed on Charlie Adam in that game along with Steven Gerrard. It was like, Charlie Adam, ooh, Steven Gerrard, yay! It was the exact same. It was Cyril Dessers, ooh, Ridvan Yilmaz, yay! It was the exact same. So it was just a wee funny moment. I went, oh yeah, that's how we done it. But again, Dessers nearly had the perfect response to the frosty reception on this cold Saturday night as he gets involved right away, runs down the left hand side after a brilliant ball from Barami, picking him out. He releases one first time with the left foot that I'm thinking, by God, it's in the back of net, but it ends up rattling the bar again for the 4th time today. And honestly, we should have put this game in beyond doubt in the last 5 minutes. Although it did come through Barami in the 10th position, because not only did he create that, he then a couple minutes later slides in a wonderful ball to Ross McCausland, who runs through and somehow doesn't even get it on target. You just got to hit the target. You just got to hit it on target, but he balloons it ere the bar. There's another one where he's got a 3-on-1 opportunity, ends up falling at his feet, and I think it ends up going out for a goal kick. And I sit and look at these things, and I'm not picking on the young laddie, I'm not even picking on Dessers, I'm not picking on the other substitutions we made in the game either. But this game just highlights again how I feel. The same way I felt at the weekend, and the way I felt versus Spurs when we started making subs and lost that game, as well as our strength and depth is dreadful. You know what what I mean? There's players in there that might have potential, they might be this, they might be alright, but they're not always good enough. And I think as soon as we start dipping in, it starts to look like we're bringing on boys that have been raffled to get an opportunity to play at half-time during the draw at Ibrox. Because I'm sitting watching how many major opportunities we get. It's barking. So again, for me, that just highlights what we really need. You know what I mean? That is strengthening that bench. I know we've got a couple of people's bringing in from injuries and stuff like that. We will be stronger. But I want to clear out some massive wages for this club. Clear out that and bringing in talented players. So when we do dip to the bench, we're not talking about missing sitters and hitting this and not even getting shots on target. Those chances need to be put away and we'd be in a much, much better place. But I'm not wanting to moan too much because I know it's just the last game before Christmas and I'm like, we're all been happy with it. I just sat back and went, yeah, that's where we are. As soon as we need to go to there, bring on them. The quality does Lord doing. And I felt really bad for Barami, who was one that came on that was good enough, but he created major opportunities that should have resulted in goals. But he finishes with 0 assists because his teammates aren't good enough to take the opportunities. But aye, as you can imagine, it is 1-0, so it is a wee bit nippy as we get on. I could have pulled a Christmas cracker away the old arse cheeks, but there was no really any for Dundee. Couple crosses that was well dealt with Liam Kelly. There was a Simon Murray shot where he tried to chip Kelly after like playing it through, but Robin Proper does clear it off the line. But again, he was a mile offside, so it wouldn't have counted anyway. And that was really it, if I'm honest. The only real chance I can think of is a counter-attack as they sort of break us around about the 86th minute of the game, but Sterling ends up sprinting about 70 yards back, puts in a good challenge, wins. Gives them a corner, but stops maybe anything worse for Rangers, but we end up dealing it well from the corner. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. It's certainly not as pretty or as great and inspiring as the last couple of performances, but it's a win at the end of the day, and that's what you need today, especially after what an emotional week that was and how draining that would have been the players between Spurs and Celtic. Just get out of the line here, go enjoy the holidays and recharge from there. And I'm delighted with it, ladies and gentlemen. The man of the matches again are up there. I think I'm going to give it to Raskin again, who I thought was great. And you know, I mean, it goes any other way, you're probably looking at Hadji's and stuff like that. But what about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the old comment section below. And again, until I see you next, which again will be after Christmas, have a great Christmas, have a great time celebrating, doing what you need to do, and I'll see you all on Boxing Day, I believe, for our next game. There'll be no preview video on Christmas Day. I'll give you that day off, but I'll see you on Boxing Day. Again, until then, I've been CJ92. Thank you so much for watching. All the best and bye. Do you know what's actually quite painful? See with the grey and the beard and the grey hair and everything. I really am starting to turn into Scrooge right here, aren't I? It's painful.